Man, last episode, guys. That was amazing. Freaking science, baby. So, hello everyone, it's time for When They Cry, Higurashi. Episode 11, Sotsu of course, but whatever. Yeah, you know what we're here for. Last episode, amazing. My favorite episode probably of all the When They Cry episodes. I mean, generally, I really love the season. Right? I liked Lesson 2, of course, but this is really good. I think it speaks to what I enjoy, right? I enjoy, I'm a bad person, right? I murder people. No, but I mean, I think it's also more interesting, right? I think it's always more interesting following the bad girl, you know? It's like, oh, how am I gonna manipulate Rika this week, you know? It's more interesting seeing Satoko, of course, tricking them, and especially, as I mentioned a few weeks ago, I loved the moment she was like, oh, I'm gonna use my time traveling to train my gun skill, I'm gonna use time traveling to make money, right? I was like, oh my god, a character in anime that is time traveling and is investing their time travel to make money? Whoa, you know what I mean? Because that is such an obvious thing to do, right? I always say that, but if I was time traveler, I would be like, oh, I'm gonna go buy Amazon, Facebook, Google, you know. And I think the thing is that, too much here, but I said briefly, right? If you time travel to like the 50s or whatever, the 40s, would be like, I don't know what to buy now for stocks or whatever. It's kind of like weird, it's kind of hard right there. But if you time travel in the recent years, you could easily buy the FANG, right, like the big stocks. So it's big tech, right? It's quite famous today. So, like, my mom knows to buy Amazon. I mean, it's kind of obvious. But she used to put time traveling to make money on gambling on horses. And that is perfectly fine. I think that every time travelers do that, it's a very simple way to make money, because obviously you can figure out what's going to happen, right, with the horses or so. So that was all good. And of course, last week we get to this amazing conclusion that she's just crazy. She's a witch. She has her own little inner self that's a good girl, and of course the evil witch Satoko. And that was amazing. And I love the moment that, like, because I said it last week, right, 2 weeks ago or so on, how I was building up because Uncle Teppei is a nice guy, right? And she's like, oh, Uncle Teppei, can't kill him anymore. And I think it was so great writing, because of course it's building up that she actually likes Teppei, right? He's like, you know what, he's not that bad anymore. In this timeline, he's nice to me. And then of course she sees the one all the time and he's really mean to her. Like, oh yeah, I remember now, he's a bastard, right? But he's kind of having that, the guilt feeling that actually right now I don't kind of want to betray him anymore because he's so nice to me. So, she had to struggle with that, right? And I think that was a really good build-up. But then of course it went into, crazy anime town where she's split apart as two completely different people, right? But even if she hadn't done like the actual, mental split, right, one good, one evil self, I still think that was just, really nice writing, right? You build it up that she's like kind of starting to have second guessing her own plan, right? The plan is good, of course, but it's more like she's like, actually, maybe I shouldn't do the plan because Teppei is kind of nice, so I don't want to betray him anymore. She started to feel, I don't know. What actually she would feel is something like Lima syndrome, I guess. Lima syndrome is when you are the kidnapper or whatever. It's the reverse Stockholm syndrome, right? Where you are the abuser and you're starting to fall in love with your victim. I mean, she's obviously abusing Teppei, right? And she's like, actually, I kind of care about him now. I don't want to kill him anymore. You know what I mean? So I guess she has like, she's already developed Lima syndrome. She's like, actually, I can't hurt my slave anymore. It's like, oh no, I like him now. He's too nice to me back. Oh, damn it. But that was all good, right? And lastly, before watch episode now, as I said in my review last week, and also, again, sorry also for, of course, I was lucky, I guess, that the video last week, it broke. My stream broke just when the episode was over, kind of, so I could do a review and a reaction part separately. It kind of fit in perfectly there. But usually I do one long, 30-40 minute video, right? But yeah, I was like, oh, good. Lucky, I guess. But yeah, but there's one thing, right? You do a lot of anime and manga and so on streams, and I do, Twitch streaming and so on, the game as well, right? Subscribe for that, whatever. But when you do that, my memory, because I always record it, right, local as well, that it runs out of memory, my computer, right, so very often. So yeah, my computer had zero memory left, and that kind of made it all glitchy. Both the saving and also its CPU slowed down, right, because it has no free ROM anymore, so that also kind of caused an issue. Because if the memory goes to zero, the computer might start using other processors for, like, what's it called, flash memory, or like, it's basically, I have a master degree, I should know this. It's basically what's happened is, if your computer runs out of memory, like the actual hardware memory, it can still utilize some allocated memory that is hidden, for that matter. But if that is used, it's gonna start put stuff on like your RAM and other CPU. And if you have a modern computer like I have, the CPU of course is computer processor, but the graphic card processor today, the GPU, has also memories today. So you can also start using the GPU if you really need it, right? So that's why it won't crash immediately these days. If you said like 20 years ago, did the same thing, computer probably used to crash like a blue screen. But today, and then the memory we have to restart, right? But today it's like it's starting to allocate memory on other slots. Like for example, then the GPU instead. If you play a video game, you can put it in the GPU instead. And actually, many games are coded to use the GPU or CPU, so you can still have the same processing power, right? So you need a powerful graphic card. But anyway, yeah. Long story short, sorry for that. Yeah, memory ran out, right, and they started to affect my other computer stuff. But the thing I want to say before we start here is that I think Satoko can now be redeemed. I had some comments about it a few weeks ago. People are like, but isn't Rika gonna save her? Isn't Rika and they still gonna be friends? And they're gonna be like, it's Taku-chan! Or they're gonna be friends in the end? And I've been thinking about that too, because Satoko of course felt very, irredeemable the latest episodes. Because she's like so evil, right? She's turning more and more evil. But now of course she's a witch and she's split apart. Now Rika can save the good one, right? She can save the good Satoko. So this does open up for an actual redemption. Defeating the witch Satoko, and of course saving the good one. No, it's the watching it. Long intro. 3, 2, 1, and go. This is just a great last episode. I have much to say. Great last episode. I had so much to say before the episode. Yeah, 5-minute intro about last episode. Reviewing it after reading it. Because I like doing that. I mean, I'm happy, man. It's a really good episode last week. Probably the best episode, right, this season of this anime. Arguably the best. I think it's better. I think Sotsu is better than the whole, other one. Mostly, yeah. Not every episode, but yeah, Satoko of course, this is the same thing last week. Family friendly. She loves the tomato juice. We of course have seen the effect of this because we've seen it from the Kichi standpoint, right? When he's like, oh, they all died anyway, even though we saved her because she was the evil little Munchhausen girl, and it wasn't actually poor Uncle Teppei. But man, Uncle Teppei had a lot of blood in him. It's like raining blood basically now. Arra, I get all red now! My god, that's what I go! She's all like, arra, so much blood, Uncle Teppei! Oh no, fan service! Yeah. Well, this is the classic thing Kichi finds in the shower, right? It's like classic scene. Man, it's kinda etchy now. Yeah, she's like in the shower here. And she's singing. Family friendly anime. Yeah, she's in the shower here. It's cleaning off all the blood. I mean, tomato juice, This is the classic storyline, of course, when Kichi sees her in, sees her, family friendly. Allows like a blood path, footprints everywhere. Rika is here. Yeah, I'm so happy here. Ikimashi, Rika-chan! Can be all happy. Hey Rika, my best friend! Here we go. Nippai! He's like, hey, best friend! Look at evil girl, she's so evil. Hey, Rika, happy days! And all the blood behind her. Oh, man. It's probably open. I was really open, sorry. That's why I keep turning it off like that. Man, Uncle Teppei, man. I started to really love Uncle Teppei, man. It's not Uncle Gel, but he's opening. But yeah, I will say that, right? Sometimes, I don't display it again, I'm displaying the many over videos, but I always tell it to people. Of course, I have done opening, reaction reviews, so on. But that's one thing, because you break down the opening by scene. That's fine. But it's always a bigger risk. I always say to people that are starting a new YouTube channel or whatever, right? You never want to show the opening, yeah. The reason why I turn off and on, because not always for me, but the most common time I issue on YouTube is because I've shown the opening. Or especially if the music is the opening. Oh my god, the audio is super, that's much worse, yeah. Like the music companies are way worse, yeah. So look at that Yuri kids. But I always say that, right? You don't want to show the opening on YouTube or whatever, Twitch and so on. You don't want to show the opening, especially not the music. That's. But I feel almost every YouTuber knows that. Yeah, if you have the music thing, you get huge issues. That's why, from purely like a reaction standpoint, I prefer if they have the opening immediately. Obviously, so I can just avoid showing that easily. Yeah. But it's silly. But anyway. So Rika, of course, Satoko. It's gonna be the gun part, maybe? It's definitely time, right, to get to the gun eventually. We cannot sort of split apart now, her evil self. It's definitely the time to get to the gun part, certainly, I would say. My guess was this episode. My guess a few weeks ago was this episode would be the gun episode. I still think that's possible. This is gonna end with the gun. Yeah, it's still possible that I'm right in that. But I don't know. I feel the tempo's been a little too slow for that. Maybe it's gonna be... But it's awkward now. Ah, it's so kawaii! It's awkward now, but it's all like, oh my god, I love you guys! And yeah, it's so awkward now, we're all happy. They were laughing, and Uncle Teppei is like bleeding out. Oh, he's dead, I guess, but yeah, you know. Poor Uncle Teppei, he's all dead. He was such a nice uncle. But like a Gelbot, almost. Yeah. But Oishi-san, of course, the cop is gonna appear soon and kill them all. Yeah, he should come here now, right? Yeah. So this time I should still be over, but he should appear soon and kill them all. And then we might start a marathon killing of Rika when she gets drowned and so on, and then we get the gun scene. So let's see if I'm right and if the gun scene happens episode right. See, Rika feels like, oh, this is going pretty well this time. No one has died. Look at how happy she is. It's like, oh yeah, this is going great. Oh, Rika! She's all like, oh, with this gun. I like how she's doing that. Oh, I love the detail, yeah. Just like shoot in a cool way, you know. Just to be gangster, yeah. She can't just shoot with the gun. She gotta have the positioning. She gotta shoot in a cool way. And then Rika do a dance. We definitely saw the dance more in the first arc or season, whatever you call it. No, they had the Rika dance a lot more, you know, definitely. They did it way more than that season. So he should appear basically now after this dance part, right? And then he's gonna kill them. And for Satoko, she has to die after Rika. Or I don't know if she has to die after Rika. It seems like she has to die after Rika. That's her only weakness. But it also might be enough if Rika is dead. Yeah, it's a little bit like, is it enough maybe if Rika just dies? As long as she dies in the timeline, that might make Satoko's plan work out, right? So maybe not necessarily does she has to actually die after her, but of course if she dies before her, she can't know that Rika is gonna die in that time, you know, in that timeline, right? Because otherwise, in other timelines, Rika might have survived, right? But maybe Shion died or whatever, right? She has to make sure that Rika always dies, and then the other character may or may not die, right? That's not really relevant for her, right? But I do wonder if she actually has to die after her. I think after her is more from a convenience standpoint, right? She has to know she's dead, right? That might fail. Because you see Ueshima praying that this time Rika's gonna win. Well, we know Rika's gonna fail though. He does a really cute little dance, and then they all get shot by an angry cop man. Ooh. Yeah, something cool. Look at this evil bastard. Look at this evil bastard playing a really cute girl car on him. Look at her. Complete psychopath. The worst little murderous girl ever, yeah. She's like, ah, hold my hand, Nishan! Oh, man. But I think that's a typical horror trope, right? Typical horror trope, right? The little girl, you know, the orphan. Is that what it was called? Orphan? I think so. I can spoil it here then. But I think Orphan is the movie where they adopt a girl, right? She's actually like a 30-year-old woman, right? Which is actually a true story to some extent, of course. That happened in real life where they adopt a girl and she actually isn't like a young girl, just like a 30-year-old woman with some disease, right? With some kind of illness that makes them look young and they don't grow in size, you know. It happened more than once, actually. Yeah, I read more than one case of those fake little young girls, right? I think it happened like 50 times adoptive. yeah. But anyway, Satoko, of course, reminds me of that, you know. A little evil girl that's actually this actually is like, I mean, usually she has to relive this thing. Satoko is like a few hundred years old, right? She's actually supposed to be, of course, an older, almost a grown-up woman, right? Like, you know, teenage something, almost grown up, just before time traveling. And after that, she's time traveled like hundreds of times. with memories of that. She's actually like 500 years old or something. She's one of those she's one of those babas that is that, you know, yeah. She's one of those babas that are actually looking like a girl, but she actually is like a 500-year-old seasoned warrior woman. That's what she is. Here comes the copyright. Which she can. Which she could. I think so. Yeah, there is. It's gonna shoot them all, of course, because he's going to scratch it, right? But yeah, it's not really said how old Satoko actually is, but I think it's fair to say that she would be something around that age, right? She would be something like 30, yeah, a bit older, right? It's fair to say. On my left, started. It's good because it's all going to turn up my left behind me. Hear the sound effect on it. Message going out. Sorry, I'm going to turn up my laptop so I don't have to hear the fan behind me. Yeah, it is like, please come to my home. Nothing happened here at all. It's like, yeah, it's very safe in here. Daishobu? Kind of a Unigasai moment here. Oh, my family is fine at my place. Yeah, when I see my house, it was going so well. And I love the scene. You know, it's like, it was going so well in our date. Thought you liked me. Yeah, it was going so well until you found all the dead bodies. Oh no. Oh. Man, I maybe I should re-watch React. Obviously, I watched the anime with Ari 10 years ago, yeah. Oh my god, he's like touching all the blood. He's like, oh, yay! What is this lighting doing here? Oh man, poor Kichi-kun. Oh no, he gets his fingerprints on it. It's gonna blame him or something? No, actually, it's her getting the bat. I was like, I don't know how he was getting a bat. Sorry. I'm feeling stupid here. I was like, what? Of course he picked that. Of course I was hoping at the bat. I don't know, I just, you know, a bat and him, Kichi-kun and bats, it's kind of like go hand in hand, right? So I was like, did he pick up the bat now? No, of course he picked up the bat. That makes more sense. He picked up the bat. But I just inherited the fact that he just picked up the bat. But okay, whatever. He's gonna bat him in, right? He finally turns on the light. And it's like, wait a minute. Satoko-chan! And then we go, bat, baby. Bat! Home run! A home run episode. Another home run. Yeah, now it's Uncle Teppei. All beaten up here and smacks him again. And man, that looks brutal. Man, they reached out because she's enjoying shit, man. She's really enjoying playing baseball, people. She's like, I think she's almost laughing brutal and she's like, ah, don't forget her. She looks so happy too. She's all like, you know, she's so happy doing it too. Yeah, she's like, yep. She's way too happy. She's all way too smug, you know. It's like, yeah, this is awesome. Oh, I love my new hobby. Yeah, she's way too happy about doing it. It's getting laughably even now. She's running around and like, yeah, I killed them all. Yeah, and of course, gonna trigger him to be like, oh no, Uncle Teppei killed me. How should she even explain this? Like, she's the one coming out there. Oh no, Uncle Teppei, they had this fight. He's obviously insane out with the curse, so, with the, you know, yeah, so. I mean, it makes sense that he will be easily be tricked though, but still. How would anyone actually believe this thing? Because in there, like, she's always laughing, right? Evil laughing, of course. Evil Satoko smile there. I mean, have to have just her evil smile slide. God damn it, Satoko, god damn it, yeah. He finds, of course, the murder scene with 2 people brutally murdered. So, is she gonna blame that they kill each other? Like, what's her excuse here? Oh, they hit each other on the same time. They were like double K-ing with the bat. It's only one bat though. But, you know, obviously anyone actually doing, you know, forensic science in this thing would figure out that neither of them can be the murderer. They're both the victim. It's very obvious given the blood splatter and so on. But it's like, but you know, I can buy that he is going crazy from the curse, right? So I buy it. He's just insane as hell. Yeah, because her lie makes no sense, right? But he's like, oh, so you know, I buy that. I buy that he buys her, right? Yeah, sure. Why not? You know, he's losing his mind, right? So it makes sense. This is gonna trigger him to kill Rika, right? This is a way to, you know. But it's important for her though that someone kills Rika. I talked about so. That's true. Yeah, he killed Nini. No, Nini. I was thinking that he needs to, or she. I mean, sorry, he needs to kill her. But I mean, that's all bloody. But I was thinking that her action of provoking Oishi to shoot him. Poor radio fall down here. It makes sense. Here she goes, her story, yeah. Oh, they fought each other, they double K'd, yeah. Definitely exactly what happened. That makes perfect. How did he die then? How did Kishi die then? Oh, he just collapsed afterward anyway? Oh, I guess. In her story, he bashed in Teppei, right? And then but he was injured before or something, Teppei. Oh yeah, Soda, that makes sense. Definitely makes sense. But I was thinking that she needs to provoke Oishi, whereas he can't kill Rika, right? So definitely again, right? She also needs to make someone go crazy that can kill Rika for her, because because she can't kill Rika herself, right? Not at least every time. I guess honestly, she definitely can't kill Rika, and she does it in one of those quick kills. But of course she can't kill Rika like every time. Then Rika's be like, well, Satoko is even, right? But she can kill her once or twice, right? Yeah, she can't kill her too often. If she would kill Rika every time, by her own hands, Rika would figure it out if she's controlling the time, right? So, she needs to set up different crazy. She needs to set up, someone else to kill her, right? At least sometimes. But that's true. Eventually, she does kill her with the intestine, right? In one of the Rika death scenes, she wakes up and she's basically already dead immediately. Satoko was like eating her stomach, right? Basically, like playing with her, her organs. It's one of the death scenes with Rika. So she will kill her at least once herself. But that I think is the only time she kills herself, right? Could be one wrong, but I think that's the only time Satoko actually kills her, with her own, by her own hands, right? Arguably the gun scene then. We haven't seen how the gun scene's gonna go, right? But here it's going crazy. All those scratching, baby. Yeah, it's going crazy, man. Of course, it's going crazy because it's all scratchy. Obviously, this is a little too. It's a little too how say it, slow paced. Honestly, I feel a bit. Kichikun, yeah, I feel it's a little slow paced. My opinion. I know she's gonna play Rika or something. She's like, oh, she would never. And now it's like, Rika-chan. He said Rika did this thing. And now it's gonna be like, he said Rika-san. There we go. He told Rika. Oh yes, Rika. Here we go. She's like, it's probably Rika's fault somehow. Yeah, here we go. I have connected all the pieces. Yes. It's Rika's fault. Yeah, here we go. It's finally all the proof. Yeah, he runs out to kill Rika. That was going into the wall. That was good. That was a joke little there. That was not little. He's like, whoops! Runs into the wall for some reason. But yeah. Yeah, kill Rika-chan. Yeah, I love it. He's like, it was Rika's fault somehow. Not really motivated what Rika did, but he believes in it, yeah. Yeah, it's all Rika's fault. Poor Rika-chan. Only trying to be a good little best friend, She's all like, bestie! BFS for life. Yeah, she's all wondering, what happened to my perfect plan here? Thought it was going great this timeline. Here he comes then. Of course, we already seen him kill them. To some extent. We've seen it, from another angle, right? How it ends. Yeah, now he's like, Rika! But this time he is... Yeah, it's like, we've seen this, of course, when he strangles her. But the difference here is that he's very directed towards Rika. This is probably what she figured out that Satoko was evil, right? Because this is definitely yet another point of why she's figuring out that someone else is time traveling. Because she's like, the other people that killed her, like with the sister storyline, they just, kind of threw her down into the, and stepped on her and that stuff, right? But it wasn't really like her, she was the goal, right? She was just the accidental killer, right? collateral damage, so to speak. But he's actually really focusing on killing Rika, right? He's been motivated to really just kill Rika. So yeah, it's... in that sense, her plan is failing here. Yeah. Because Oichi is so focused on Rika. Don't kill Rika-chan! Oh yeah. No! Nia-chan! Kill her too, right? Shion, Mion! I'm gonna kill the sisters. Yeah, they're gonna die, right? Gonna detail out that more. Satoko was all like, yeah, this is great. Yeah, she's all like, Arara! This is hilarious! Yeah, so kills one of the sisters. And now she's gonna shoot the next one too, right? I guess she's the only one that survives this one. Yeah. And they're both gonna get, yeah, exactly. Both the twins get shot, right? And then of course Rika. I think she's gonna be the only one to survive this, if I remember correctly here. And then of course Rika dies. Oichi kills Rika, right? And then Satoko, I guess, also dies by him, right? Or whatever. Yeah, so they're both bleeding out to death here. To break Rika's heart! Yeah, Rika breaks character. Bastard! He's like, have you seen Uncle Teppei and Kichi? Yeah, just kill me already! Oh, yeah. Man, this is a very red episode. A very tomato-use episode. This whole arc is very tomato-use. I'm not wrong about the gun thing, though. It won't be the gun in this episode, definitely not. It's too slow-paced. It's too much focusing on the... yeah, he's really killing Rika here. There's a lot of... a home run episode, definitely. Varia Satoko wants to die too, right? Arara, oh my! Yeah, I guess she has to die too, right? Shoot me, old bastard. He's like, I see you tricked me. Yeah, he's right. It was all you, little girl. Yeah, it was you. That's correct. That's right. It's my fault. That's a wrong gun. That's good. I was laughing. That was hilarious. That's right, bastard. Yeah, I got my own gun. God damn it. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, that was beautiful. Oh, yeah, Rika was very dead. Oh, that was beautiful. Yeah, needs to die before her, right? Well, they can shoot herself, I guess, but she looks dead anyway. Like, she looks very dead, Satoko. She's like, die! Die! Yeah, like, I mean, shoot your corpse a bit more! And gosh, she's like, what's happening? Guess you won't kill her. There's no need for killing her. It doesn't really matter, though. The time is over. Yeah, she's like, let's go, right? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. She's like, whatever, I gotta let her be alive. I don't really care about her. Like, she can cry how much she wants, right? Yeah, she can have her mental breakdown. It doesn't really matter for that, right? Like, whatever cares. Yeah, who cares about her, right? But yeah, she's the only one to survive, of course. I mean, I guess I have to say, Rick, she loves laughing at this, her TV shows. It's her reality TV for her. Reality time traveling. It's hilarious. But now the next episode is gonna go into the speed run, right? Should be the marathon speed run. This is now when Rika gives up, basically. And Rika's like, I only have 5 more lives. I hate this shit. This is when Rika kind of surrenders, right? She basically tried to quit. So maybe now we're gonna jump to Rika instead. Let's. Yeah, who knows? I love this scene though. She's like, it's right, it was me all along! He's like, I see! You manipulated everyone from the beginning! Just her own gun! I love this scene, that's right! And I got my own gun, bastard! This was the best scene, man. That's right! I'm ready for this shit! Oh, this scene was the best by far, yeah. Oh yeah? Yes! Yeah, and he flips up her own gun in his face there. Oh, it was beautiful. That was a really beautiful scene. That's right, bastard! Got my own gun! He shoots him before he shoots off. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful scene. But yeah, I was thinking about the general sense, right? So now then, we finished the long run episodes. This is of course the ending of the what do you call it, the full storyline arcs, right? And after this thing, we're gonna go into Rika kind of half-ass giving up. Not really, because you know, has the finger thing going on, and that's what I keep calling the speed run, the speed race, any death scene percentage kind of thing, right? Yeah. So that might go back to Rika's perspective, maybe, right? Because it's so quick, one of those. Like one of them, she wakes up and she's dead immediately, right? Satoko and someone. So I don't really see how much I can focus on Satoko. Maybe it's gonna focus more on the gods, right? You know, the evil, which, yeah, maybe it's gonna be on their side instead. I have a hard time seeing going too much on Satoko's side because it's kind of like, you know, it's like a speed run. So maybe next episode we'll go into the gun scene then. I was hoping to be this episode, and I will say, even though I love this episode, I do find it to some, that'll be one of the complaints, right? And that's kind of my general complaint about the whole season. Not because I mean, I think it's a really good season, but my only issue with the season, like this episode, definitely be the slow pacing, right? Sometimes you feel that this could be like half an episode, like this, like because we have seen a lot of this before, right? Maybe not this episode so much, but I think some other episodes have been like now they're just kind of using the same scene again, right? Like it's not doing a difference. So it's a little bit like that, I suppose. But I think that this in Hero, as I mentioned in the reaction part, I feel this is kind of where we're coming to where I feel that Rika, even though as we know she'll half-ass give up, right? We know her perspective right from the first season, but I feel that this is still kind of the moment where at least now we know a lot more, and someone we as a viewer at least. But it feels like here is the moment she probably is like, wait a minute, there has to be another time travel, right? Because I at least, it's easier now when we are the viewer and we have all the information. But I feel that this moment, at least from our perspective, right, from our perspective, it's so much more clear it has to be someone else because, as I mentioned in the reaction part, the other death scenes, certainly she has been killed, right? For example, with the toilet scene. But that wasn't like her getting killed because, you know, she's Rika, right? That was just her accidentally getting into, oh, you threatened my kid, she couldn't, I will kill you, right? Yeah. That was like collateral damage, basically, from her, you know, from the sister and their jealousy or whatever, right? Because she kind of had like a jealousy protection team with Keisha, right? So that's all been like her on the side. This is this is really the time where someone is like, Rika, I'm gonna kill you, and so on, right? But when I saw the first season, and just put out again, I was an anime only, right? I've never seen this before. But I got to the first season, then earlier in the year, right, in the winter season, I was like, oh yeah, because that was kind of, for me, right, being new to this anime, new to Higurashi When They Cry, even though, as I mentioned, I've seen Umeneko before, but I haven't seen, you know, Tsukide. I've seen Umeneko, right, but not the other one. For me, this was about the time, though, where I kind of learned about Rika, you know, being this powerful girl anyway, right? So for me, it was a little bit like, okay, yeah, maybe someone else, clearly someone else has powers, but like it was no really point. I think especially as an anime only at this moment, I was like, oh, who could it be? Satoko? Someone else? The evil god, you know? Because certainly it felt like the evil god, whatever it is, knew that Rika has powers at this point. But this is also kind of when I am starting to figure out how Rika's powers works, right? You know what I mean? Because I'm kind of new to the anime right at this point. So that is also one reason why, right? Now to me it's 100 times more clear that, of course, she sent her after him and Rika should have figured out stuff happening and so on. And I'm guessing if I had seen the previous animes before, and as I mentioned, I have seen the first season now then, the real first season afterwards, yeah, I saw them afterwards, right? Not everything was in the the beginning, not all the spin-offs or whatever, right? And I haven't played the games, but I see the OG anime, right? And yeah, like this scene is much more clear now, right? From every perspective, I feel, and I'm not guessing then if I had. My point, I guess, is if I had seen the other animes before the first season of this anime, this in here also probably be a lot bigger, I guess, right? Because I didn't have any theory that Satoko was like, you know, time traveling also, but I think the people that were more, you know, into the anime, more knowledgeable about the anime at this moment probably felt like, you know what, why is he after Rika? It must be someone that knows about her powers, right? What I mean, but again, being an anime at the moment, I didn't really know how it worked, so I was like, well, he knows her powers, or someone's controlling him. I don't know how the cursing works. I didn't know about the needles, right? I didn't know about, you know, the evil nurse, whatever she is, right? I didn't know about her and the photography guy. They were obviously very evil, but I didn't know what that meant, right? So, yeah, it's a little more stress, I suppose. I love this scene to throw it out there. And I look at the episode again. It used where's the gun scene? The other gun scene, not the gun scene where they were shooting at each other, but the friendly gun scene when they were all hanging out and they were targeting when they shoot at. I'm looking at the fun. You know, but the prize gun scene. You know, the funny, family friendly. The genuine wholesome gun scene. You know, when they get prize sets right. I just love the scene that she has that gang. Yeah, I love to hear this. I love that, you know, the other ones are like Rika and so on, you know, they're doing this like, yeah, aiming, but she's like, she didn't do this thing, you know, the one hand, like, yeah, I'm a gangster. Those twins are like, this thing, like, you know, yeah, I'm a cowboy, and the ones like gangster holding. I like those two were kind of, you know, they're funny gun girls, yeah. You know, but the other ones are taking it more seriously, and they're like, yeah, and then it is weird aim. That was a cute, wholesome moment, I felt. Can I see their personality, you know, in their how they're handling a gun, right? How they're handling a range gun shooting. Anyway, you know, the shower scene before the opening, yeah, it was very fan service. I was like, oh man, the anime is going family friendly. It was like you kind of saw, you know, Satoko's butt box and everything. Honestly though, it was a little bit like, oh, this is actually kind of etchy now. But I guess she's like one of those Baba, it's like a 500, that girl is 500 years old, officer. It's a little bit that feeling where you're like, this is kind of etchy, but, you know, this female main character is actually like 500, she's a Baba, right? It's like a 500,000 years old, so I guess it's legal? I guess it's fine? You know, I was thinking about that when I watched If It Was in USA Maid, yeah. And like, I'm watching this anime because of the very muscular maid, not because of the little girl. Yeah, I'm not here for the girl, I'm here for the muscles. Please, officer, don't take me, I'm generally here for the muscles, right? Anyway, poor Teppei, saw it scene again, and, you know, I buy it, the shit going crazy, he buys her stupid lies, because her story really makes no sense, right? She's like, oh yeah, they both baseballed each other, and then it was like, I don't know, he kind of like stepped around, and then he kind of fell on his body after he kind of hit him afterwards. Like, her storyline, her baseball storyline, it really made no sense. Yeah, she was trying to motivate how it happened, like it was just like, he was like crazy. Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, sure, that makes sense. That's exactly how bodies works. But I like the general scene though, man. Satoko is the HOMERUN girl, yeah. It was a brutal scene. She's like, follow me now, come on, let's go, boy! So, she really into it, right? And my last guess I want to throw out here, that might explain why she kills, as I mentioned earlier in reaction, she never kills Satoko herself, right, until, you know, way later. She always tried to get someone else to do it, to, you know, kind of block her from knowing it's her, right? But eventually, she will kill at least once herself. And I guess this is kind of why, because she's getting like really into it. And she's like, oh, baseball batting, everyone, you know. She's getting really into it. So I guess because of that reason, she's also feeling that lust, that thirst of getting some, you know, Rika blood, you know, Rika personal blood, right? I feel so, yeah. I mean, she shot her in the head, of course, this part, but she's really dead, right? So that's also probably the reason why. And again, then explains how Rika is figuring out it's her, right? Because she's getting more and more hands-on, right? Dirtying her own hands more and more. Mostly because she's enjoying it, right? Like her thirst for Rika's blood is increasing. She wanted Rika juice, right? So I think that's a fair point to say that she's so into Rika juice, and that's why she's getting like also clumsier, you know, easier to understand that she's the girl behind everything because she's getting more and more involved, right? Spotting Rika and so on. I think that's a main reason why, right? But anyway, another great episode. Very baseball home episode. David, I was worrying about the gun. Talk about this episode. I'm guessing next episode then, right? Because now it should be the speed run, and there is 2-3 episodes where Rika actually fights. So we need to get into, you know, an actual new non-timeline, you know, non-previous timeline arc when they fight even with Satoko, and also the gods, so they somehow free her and redeems good Satoko, I guess. I think so, right? Well, anyway, guys, get the episode scrapped to see you guys with either 10 in half an hour from now, and then of course also at watch One Piece Thursday, and then tomorrow of course we have Black Company, Macarena, and so on. So see you guys and have a great day.